And in the end, here again, a spinner position can occur. There is also a certain classification of this type of women, 80% of whom are parasites. In other words, the fulfillment of these desires happens at the man's expense. About 20% are FIFAs with balls. That is, they figured out that they want to be autonomous, to build their own careers, to be independent. And I want to emphasize this, I want to stress it twice. Never invest in a woman. For example, I just remembered a case from literally 2 weeks ago, but there are plenty of such stories. A man had a business, things were going great. For 2 or 3 years, his wife didn't work, and then suddenly she got bored. So the man invested money and started a business for her. She did have some skills, but she got lucky and the business took off. And after a year or a year and a half, her income even became a little higher than his. And at that moment, the man also hit a crisis. What do you think? After she started earning more, how much longer did she stay married to him? In the end, she left him after 2 months. Never invest in a woman, let her depend on you, and invest in you. When a woman depends on us, it's like that situation in school when you have a fight with your mom, go to your room and sulk. But then you suddenly remember that you don't have 10 or 20 rubles for a sausage roll. So you go, make up, get those 10 rubles and head off to school. Yes, maybe it's a bit cynical, but that's life, that's the truth. So, if you are able to create conditions where a woman doesn't have to work and can focus on running the household and raising children, that's great, that's a good thing. Even if you take a strong position in a relationship with such a woman, she still won't take your interests into account. In other words, her wants and desires come first. And a man ends up in a situation in such a framework where either he has to work himself to the bone to make her life a fairy tale or she'll be offended. And you know what's actually most interesting about this? Most women of this particular type, in fact, actually end up marrying men who are not extremely wealthy or fabulously rich. No, those kinds of men don't always invest in them. It's usually men of average means, but almost all the money will go to her. I've witnessed this more than once. Friends, everything I've described today is just one type of woman. If we look at the overall criteria by which we assess a woman's suitability for a relationship, there are about 10 of them, up to